Most businesses think sustainability is about saving the planet. And of course that matters. But here is the truth most entrepreneurs miss. Sustainability is about saving your business model. It is about lowering risk, unlocking new markets, and making sure the things your business relies on, like materials, energy, people, don't disappear, get more expensive, or turn into legal headaches. So in this video, I will walk you through what sustainability really means in practice, why it is not just relevant but essential to your strategy, and how to use it as a lever for smart growth. Stay with me to the end and I will have something special for you. Let's be specific. Sustainability in business is not an ideology. It is not a marketing trend. It is not a checklist. It is a strategic operating principle. We often hear that sustainability is about meeting today's needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. That's the classic Brundtland definition, and it still holds. But what does that actually mean for a business? It means building your model, your operations, and your product in a way that they can last, not just technically, but financially, environmentally, and socially. It's how you make sure the foundations of your business don't erode underneath you. Every business starts with some kind of input, raw material, energy, data, human effort or attention, and process that input into something valuable. A sustainable business recognizes that it draws from systems, environmental, social, and economic, and needs those systems to stay healthy. You can think of it this way. All businesses in some way extract value from the world through energy, attention, resources, or labor. The question is, are you putting enough back to keep the system running? Here is a metaphor I often use with clients. Think about a car. If you drive it hard, never change the oil, and ignore the strange noises, it might still carry you for a while, but eventually the engine seizes, and the car is done. That's what happens when a business model isn't maintained. When you don't innovate or don't adapt, it works until it doesn't. Smart owners know this and they invest in upkeep. They tune the engine, replace the parts, upgrade when needed. That's innovation of the business model, or alternatively, business model innovation. And it keeps you moving. But here is the bigger picture. Even with a perfectly maintained car, you don't drive in a vacuum. You need smooth roads, working fuel stations, spare parts, repair shops. If the road washes out or the petrol dries up or a garage shuts down, it doesn't matter how well you look after your car. You're stuck. And this is the part most entrepreneurs miss. The infrastructure your business runs on isn't just logistics or supply chains. It's ecological and societal systems. Clean water, stable weather, functioning institutions, healthy communities. They are the roads and fuel stations your business depends on. So, if the roads, fuel and repair shops matter as much as the engine, how does translate to business world? This brings us to something very few founders think about. Ecosystem services. The invisible work that nature does for us, for free, that keeps your business running. In business terms, ecosystem services are the benefits people and companies obtain from nature. They fall into four categories. Provisioning services, the raw materials you directly take, water, timber, crops, fish, natural fibers. Regulating services, the systems that keep things stable, clean air, predictable rainfall, pollination, flood protection, disease control. Supporting services, the background processes that make everything else possible, fertile soil, nutrition cycles, biodiversity. In short, things your business depends on that you don't pay for yet. And the fourth one, cultural services. Cultural services are the non-material benefits ecosystems provide, the identity, heritage, and meaning attached to places. For businesses, this matter more than most entrepreneurs realize. They influence where industries take root, how products are valued, and where talents want to live and work. Think about industries that depend on cultural heritage, wine, coffee, or regional foods. Their value isn't only in raw product, it's in the story of place, tradition, and authenticity that surrounds it. That cultural backdrop is part of the business model. Or look at innovation hubs, regions where entrepreneurial energy, openness to risk, and tech culture concentrate. Companies don't just go there for infrastructure, they go there because the culture itself accelerates business. In other words, cultural services are not, soft. They are the context that shapes demand, attracts talent, defines premium. They are as critical to your business model as water or energy. No matter what you make, food, packaging, software, logistics, your business is plugged into these services. They are part of your model, whatever you acknowledge them or not. And here is the catch, they don't show up on your balance sheet. They sit in the background, invisible, until they stop working. So the real question is, what happens when those services break down? This isn't theoretical. Human-driven climate change is disrupting these services fast. When nature stops doing its job, businesses are left to replace it, and replacing it isn't cheap. Let's take two examples. Take bees in China. Where pollinator populations collapse, farmers now hand pollinate orchards. That costs over $400 per hectare. Think about that. Costs that squeeze margins, push up prices for consumers, or even make it impossible for smaller farms to compete. What was once a free service from nature now shows up directly on the balance sheet. Or consider wetlands and flood control. Cities that lose natural wetlands have to spend millions building concrete flood barriers. That's not just an environmental expense, it flows into business costs through higher taxes, insurance premiums, or infrastructure fees. Companies suddenly find their operating expenses increasing all because an invisible service stopped working. The lesson is simple. When nature stops doing its job, business pays the bill, sooner or later. Right now, there are two dominant logics in business. The first one, the profit-only logic, says, my job is to deliver value to shareholders by delivering value to customers. If it sells, it works. Externalities like emissions, depletion, or inequality are not my responsibility. The other logic, the sustainable value logic, says, not all growth is good growth. Businesses should deliver value, but in the way that preserves the systems it depends on. That includes employees, communities, and yes, the planet. If they omit it, in the long run we all lose. Here is my personal approach. I'm a capitalist. I believe in entrepreneurship, ownership, free market, and competitive advantage. However, capitalism does not exist in a vacuum. It depends on functioning institutions, on healthy societies, on talent, on infrastructure, and above all, on a planet that works. I'm not interested in idealism. I'm interested in durability and in practicality, in building something that holds up. Because when systems fail, environmental, social, or economic value extraction becomes value erosion. You simply cannot build long-term profit on short-term collapse. And here is the good news. You don't have to. Now let's make it practical. Sustainability is not just a high abstract conversation. It's a commercial one. Here are 5 reasons why the smartest businesses are already moving. Number 1. Customer expectations are changing. Today's customers, especially younger generation, care about what's behind the product. Millennials and Gen Z are not fringe anymore. They're your future dominant market. A recent study showed 73% of them are willing to pay more for sustainable products. In business to business, the same shift is happening. Large corporations now screen suppliers for ESG performance. If you are not ready, you are off the preferred vendor list. It's not personal, it's policy. Number 2. Sustainability drives innovation. Constraints often create better solutions. Trying to reduce waste or rethink materials forces creativity. It leads to better design, smarter logistics, more efficient processes. Take Cemex, one of the world's largest producers of cement and concrete. Facing pressure to decarbonize, they didn't just tweak their processes, they redesigned their product line. Their low-carbon concrete, Vertua, reduces emission by at least 25% with options up to net zero. That's not just about carbon. It's a new value proposition for clients in construction and infrastructure where sustainability is now part of the brief. Number 3. Talent chooses purpose. Especially since the pandemic, employees are looking for meaning, not just pay. They want to work for companies that reflect their values. Purpose-driven companies attract strong talent, retain it longer, and create more engaged cultures. And let's be honest, replacing people is expensive. High turnover doesn't just hurt morale, it hits your bottom line. Number 4. Investors and banks are already watching. Investors and banks don't just look at your revenue anymore. They look at your signals on ESG. That means E for environmental, how you handle carbon, waste, resources. S for social, how you treat people from employees to communities. And G for governance, how you make decisions and manage risks. When those signals are strong, you are seen as a safer, smarter bet. And in finance, lower risk means better rewards, cheaper loans, more investor interest, and smoother exits. BlackRock, the world's biggest asset manager, put it bluntly, sustainability is the new standard for investing. Number 5. Regulation is accelerating. And it's not just investors. Regulators, policymakers are rewriting the playbook. Take the European Union's Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. By 2026, over 50,000 companies will be legally required to publish the detailed sustainability data. And here is the kicker, they won't get to make up their own template. The European Union has created the European Sustainability Reporting Standards, ESRS, kind of rulebook that forces companies to measure and report in a consistent way. That pressure doesn't stop at big corporations. It cascades down to supply chain. If your clients are regulated, you'll be at some point too. This isn't about being ahead of the curve. It's about staying in the game. Early movers don't just look good. They move faster, design smarter, and compete better. Late movers? They pay to catch up, often with interest. So, should your business care about sustainability? Yes, but not because it is fashionable, because it is smart, because it is strategic, because it helps you design a company that lasts. Don't wait for pressure. Lead with purpose, design something better. This is the kind of clarity I help founders and SME owners find. If you want to go deeper, you will find my ebook with the description. It breaks down the business case for sustainability and gives you practical ways to start. And if you like what I have proposed here, click into the video you see now. We will explore more about sustainable business design. See you soon.